and this is the Link Network webinar training, one-on-one training, and you can just run until you get a better mic. You could actually just type me your answers back if you want to do it that way. Just a couple quick questions. Could you first let me know, have you ever taken my domain tweak course? And my second question is if you could just let me know a little bit about what you want as far as building a network, what you want to use the network for, and that'll help me to know what to focus on, and I usually customize my instructions a little bit for you, just to so that you can really make best use of the network for whatever you want to use it for, the network that you're going to build. So the first question is, have you ever taken my domain tweak course or seen it? I believe it might be in my, I know it's in my SEO Cash Club members area, but a lot of people don't see it or go through it. Second question is just if you could let me know, just type it in real quick, what you want to use the training for. Okay, I see that you've got the mic.
Okay, do you hear me?
Yep, there we go.
Okay, great. Well, I really checked your site, and a friend told me about this opportunity.
Yeah.
I think the price is right, and you know, I really don't make any black hat at all because I don't need, because I use I am from Latin America.
Yeah, okay.
I think you noticed. English is not very well, but no problem. I read a lot Jacob King, his blog. I think you must know him.
What's his name again?
Jacob King.
Okay, yeah, I'm a little bit familiar.
Well, I only do marketing for other companies, but
Okay.
right now I want to try something new. I want to build monetize for affiliates and make money from that.
Mm-hmm.
So I will use Black Hat SEO because I think it's more fast. You know,
Okay.
I know very well media buyer. I pay Facebook ads, Google AdWords. I know that, and I'm good at that. But SEO is not bad. But I don't like just to boil links like white hat people. I really don't like that because it takes too much time, and I don't want to take too much time for a little site for an affiliate. No, I don't want.
Okay.
Well, that's I mean I will use GSA or what, something like
GSA?
that.
Yeah, GSA.
Yes, I will use that, and I want to know about PBN because I think most needed.
Yep. Okay, good. Well, let me start with giving you the basics of the strategy. So the basics of the strategy is that you're going to, what we do is we find domains that and if I'm moving too fast or you need any terms defined, just let me know.
No problem.
But yeah, so I'm you find domains that already have backlinks, they already have some history, and they have some authority in Google's eyes, so that way you don't have to build as many backlinks to them. Some people don't even build backlinks to them at all. They just let them have, these are old sites, so they already have backlinks. They already have been used in the past by someone else. And then we buy these domain names that already have their own backlinks. So, and then from there you link to your affiliate link or your money site, whatever you're setting up, and that network of sites becomes your backlinks. So that way you basically own a lot of the backlinks that are pointing to your site, because they're your own. It's your own network of sites. So
Okay.
that's what we do, and I actually outsource almost the entire thing. So I'm going to send you the outsourcing instructions, so you can actually hire someone if you want to, and just give them the instructions, and they can do most of the work for you. Do you have any outsourcers or anyone like in the Philippines
Right.
or anything like that?
Yeah. I had an agency here, so I had people that work for me really.
Okay. Okay, good. So you'll be able to give them or whoever you want these instructions, because there is some work in finding these domains. It does take some work, and but it's not hard to do. It just takes time, and so I really recommend that you outsource it. And you'll see when I go through the process. So. Okay, so here is the basic. Here's one of the cheat sheets. I'm going to send you this. You can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, so here's one of the cheat sheets that we're going off of. This is the exact same instructions that I have a guy in the Philippines doing this for me. This is the first instruction sheet that I give him, and so it starts off with expireddomains.net, which is this site here. Have you ever been on this site before?
No.
Okay. Well, the good thing about expireddomains.net is that it basically takes all the domains that are about to expire, so they're about to become available for registration. And it gives you a huge list of these, and I'll show you what I mean. So if you look here, here's a list of, I don't know how many. What do we got here? Here's just 28. Just came up with a list with some criteria that I put in. These domains are all about to become available for registration, and so anyone can then register these. But as you see, these domains have some good metrics already. So like this one here, infopartner.net, has 679 backlinks. Yeah, we got a whole bunch of them here. Culturemed.biz has 229 backlinks. You can see the Alexa rank here. You can see all types of metrics. And then, like, let's say this one here, 229 backlinks, is going to be available to register on August 7th. So this is where we start, because this is a site, like let's say this culturemed.biz is a site that already has backlinks, 229. So that's 229 backlinks I don't have to build,
Okay.
and that saves me time in the end. So, so what I have my outsourcer do is I have them. They go here to expireddomains.net and they log in. So I give them the username and password. So I create the account and then I give them the username and password. And I create a saved search here. So up here in the top, you can see where it says saved searches, that button that says
Yeah.
saved searches. If you click on that and you click on manage saved searches, it allows you to create your own list of your own saved search that you're going to save. And once you save it, it'll show up in this little drop down. So I tell my outsourcer, just log in, click on saved searches, and then click on this saved search that I created, which is called pending delete domain. So I've already created this for him, so he doesn't have to do anything. He just has to click on it. And the nice thing about that is that if I ever change the criteria, like say I want to look for a different type of a domain, I can change the criteria in my saved search, and then I know that the next time he logs in, it will be there for him, and he'll be then operating under the new criteria. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so to create a saved search, you're going to want to click up here in the right where it says pending delete. That's the list that you want. And then you're going to want to click on show filter, and you're going to want to click whatever filters you want. So let's say you want domains that are in a certain topic area, like the financial. You're wanting domains that are financial type domains. So you would type in, I want domains with the word finance in the domain name, and then the list would have only domains that have the word finance. If you click on the additional tab, you can also pick different TLDs. So we pretty much focus on just .com, .net, .org, biz, and info. But you could look for domains in all types of different, whatever ending you want, whatever TLD you want there. We pretty much focus just on .com, .net, .org, .biz, and .info, just because the other domain TLDs are difficult to manage. It's difficult to manage privacy.
Okay.
It's difficult to manage the registrar information with different countries. Some countries are real specific, and they're real. They make you confirm your identity and all types of things, which makes it really, especially European like countries like .de. Man, it's just, you can't fake it. You can't pretend to be someone else, which is what you're going to have to do. You're going to have a whole bunch of sites, and they're all going to look like they're owned by different people. And so the easiest TLDs to do that with are .com, .net, .org, .biz, and .info. Those ones you'll be able to do. So I would check those boxes in your saved search. The other one that we do is we look for domains that already have PageRank. So we're looking for domains that have a PageRank of 1 or higher. PageRank is kind of an old number now. It's getting pretty outdated. So you could go with a different metric if you want. We still stick with PageRank 1. I'm probably missing out on some good deals because of that. But that's just what we do.
Okay.
You could also tell them, I want a certain number of backlinks. I want to look for, domains that are already in the DMOS directory. There's all kinds of things you could add if you want, but we pretty much keep it simple, like PageRank 1, and then .com, .net, .org, biz, or info. If you're doing Spanish domains, you could check this as, say, I want domains that where the website was in Spanish. It just depends on what you're looking for there. So anyway, that's what you do. So you're applying that filter, and then when the list comes up, you can see here in the instruction sheet that you're going to give to your employees or your outsourcers, click on saved searches, and that means they're going to click up at the top the saved search button. Click on pending delete domains, which is the saved search that I created. You could call it whatever you want. And then once it brings up that saved search, you're going to have them click on this CSV export button so that it can export as an Excel file. And that's in the instruction sheet too. So number 5, open it in Excel, and then they're going to basically just copy and paste the list of domains there that you see on the left, and just put it in a notepad document. So that's pretty simple, but that's sort of an overview of what the instruction sheet is telling them to do. And then number 7 there says complete these steps. See cheat sheet PDF. And there's a PDF that I'm going to also send you where we give them this PDF of instructions as well. And they have to go through, so they have a list of domains that they have in a text file, and they have to go through this PDF and make sure that all the domains in the list match this list of criteria.
Okay.
So number 1, any questions so far, or should I just keep going?
No, keep going.
Okay. Alright, I'm recording this too, so you can watch it later if I miss anything or I move too fast. But so the first thing is we tell them check the page rank. Alright, so that's if you're using PageRank. If you decide you don't want to use PageRank, then you could skip number 1. But I just want them to just make sure that the PageRank that Google's giving it from the Google toolbar is the same that we thought it was.
Okay.
If it has the right PageRank, then I say go to number 2. If it doesn't have PageRank displaying, delete the domain from the list. So they're just slowly going to chop the list down until, and then see which domains survive all these checks. So then they're going to put the domain into Majestic SEO, Site Explorer. Are you familiar with Majestic SEO?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically they're going to put the domain into Majestic SEO, Site Explorer. They're going to click on Historical Index. They're going to check Root Domain. So we're looking at the links on the domain. And the question number 4 asks, does the domain have over 100 links? So this is basically just checking to make sure that the domain actually has some backlinks. If a domain has like a high domain authority number from Moz, or if it has like a high trust flow number from Majestic or something, but if it doesn't have 100 links, that looks a little bit suspicious to me. It could be faked, or they could be doing spammy activity with it that makes it look better than it really is. So I want to make sure it at least has 100 links, and if it doesn't, then I have my guy in the Philippines chop it off the list. Okay, and then we get to the Wayback Machine. Are you familiar with the Wayback Machine?
Yeah, I use it.
Okay, so they're basically going to go to archive.org, and they're going to go to the Wayback Machine and type in the domain name into the Wayback Machine there, and they're going to look at the hold on a sec. They're going to look at, let me just bring it up here. Let's just say we did my site. Shadow.com is my site. And they're going to bring up the archive of my site, and then they're going to look at, see all those blue dots? Those blue dots are the different archives of the site, the different versions of the site that are recorded in archive.org. And so basically they're going to look at 3 to 5 different versions of the site, and I want them to look at old versions of the site, because sometimes when a domain's about to expire, it gets like parked content on it, or error messages, things like that start to appear once people stop paying their bill for their domain registration. And I'm not interested in those. I want to see what the site used to look like a few years ago. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to pull the whole the old site. We're going to pull the whole old site and we're going to recreate it. And we're going to basically use that old site for our own network of sites. So that way you don't have to come up with web design, you don't have to create a blog, you don't have to come up with any content or anything. You're going to get it all for free just from the old version of that website. Does that make sense?
Yeah. What happened when archive don't have any data?
Yeah, in that case, we're just going to skip it. We're just going to skip the domain completely.
Okay.
So that's really what we're having the Filipino outsourcers, or if you do it in India or whatever, we're having them cut those domains out. So that's why I ask here, number 7, it says, is the archive of the site complete? Does it have a full website and design? And then I give them some screenshots, and this might seem obvious to you, but for an outsourcer, they really need to see exactly what you don't want. So if it looks like this, delete the domain from the list. And this is an example of like a site that there's nothing in the archive. Actually, in this case, it's actually redirected. So there's a redirect that got indexed. We do not want this, so I tell them delete that domain from the list. Then we've got, if it looks like this, delete this domain from the list. And this is basically a site that you'll see a lot of this. It's like the CSS files are missing. Yeah, there's no design, or it's in a weird language. You want to delete those two. It's really not worth getting into a domain like this. We actually tried to recreate sites, like pull sites that look like this, where it's missing the layout, and just create a layout, see a style sheets, but it takes so long. And my goal is for you to be able to build this network fast and as hands off as possible. So you just want to cut anything that's sort of complicated and just cut it off your list completely.
Okay.
So then we've got here, if it looks like this, keep the domain on the list. This is sort of, again, it's like obvious to me and you, but for them, they really need to see, like, this is what we're looking for, a complete site. It's got a whole entire design. All the content is there. If you click around, the navigation works. Everything is completely finished and usable. And those are the sites that we actually want. And so if a domain makes it through all those criteria, then I have them send me the list. So basically what I get is every day I get a list from my outsourcers of the domains that they found for me that look pretty good. Like they made it through this whole list and still survived. And then I just give them a quick look over to make sure that they look good. And then I buy them.
Okay.
So, but I also will look at the Majestic SEO. Once they give me the list, I usually throw them into Majestic SEO and just take a quick look at it, because, and what I look at is I look at the backlinks, and I would encourage you just to do a quick look, a manual check of the backlinks, and just make sure that they don't look too spammy, because you don't want to buy a domain and recreate the site from the archive and everything and have it be already like used for somebody's spam project. But you can usually tell just by looking at it if these are like spammy looking links. You can see these links here look legitimate. We've got a forum in there, we've got a YouTube account, we've got some blogs linking to it. It looks good, so you can tell just from looking. Another thing you can look at is the anchor text. So if you click on the anchor text tab, you can see the anchor text pointing to the domain, and you want to make sure it doesn't say like Viagra or porn or whatever keywords, like that, or if
look natural.
Yeah, you want it to look natural, and if there's anything fishy, don't waste your money on it, because you're gonna you're gonna have to create this whole site and everything, so you don't want to buy a site that looks all weird. And so I just do a quick check like that, and then I'll buy it, if that all checks out. Does that make sense so far?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very clear.
Have you ever done any drop catching? Have you ever done drop catching? Are you familiar with that?
No.
Okay, so this is really the trick that'll really help you get these domains really fast. So basically what drop catching is once a domain is released and it becomes available for the public to register, if the domain has any value, so like if it already has backlinks, or if it's a brand looking domain or whatever, you'll have a lot of people all trying to register it once it opens up. And so drop catching is basically the strategy of figuring out how to grab this domain first before anyone else. And so we use snap names for this. They have tons of servers. You know, they just as soon as your domain that you want, as soon as it becomes available for registration, it's like they start slamming the registrar over and over and over to try to grab the domain before anybody else. And there's software out there that will do this, but we find that it's not really worth trying to do it with software, because you've got companies like Snapnames here that have 100 servers all doing it at once. There's no way to be able to compete. So what you do then is you just create an account with Snapnames, you give them your credit card, and they grab the domain for you using their technology. And you actually don't pay them unless they're successful. So sometimes they'll get it, sometimes they won't. It's not, there's kind of a science to it. So if other people are also trying to grab it, sometimes they won't be able to do it, but they get a high percentage of them. And we found, I just love working with them. They seem to be the best, so I always recommend them to people. So the cost is $69 to have them do this. And that includes, I believe it includes 1 year of registration. So it's a little more expensive than just buying the domain, for like $8 or $15 or something. So you're basically paying for the service of the drop catch.
Yeah.
All right. So to get them to grab a domain for you, basically, so you create an account, you gave them your credit card, you click on My Account, and then you click on Bulk Tools over on the right. See that Bulk Tools tab, and then you just list your domains. So you're going to have like domain1.com, domain2.com, domain3.com, whatever they're called. And then you put a colon after it and 69, which is their price to catch it for you. And then that's basically it. Then you just wait and see if they get it. They'll get a pretty good percentage of them. So this is really the best way, just to do it in bulk.
It's okay. I think it's good because the domain is good. I think it's better to pay a little more.
Yep.
Because I think if you can find good domains where you lose hosting money, you lose work money.
Yep. Yeah.
You work on a bad domain, you lose all the money.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And that's really my philosophy. I'd rather spend a little more and get something quality, because again, this is going to be your backlink to your affiliate site, so you want it to have some power. Now, you are going to have, there will be some times when other people also go to Snap Names and say, hey, I want this domain, the same one that you asked them to get.
Yeah.
And so in that case, Snap Names will run a little auction between you and that other person. So usually it's just like you and maybe one or two other people.
Okay.
It does happen sometimes, but I usually don't do it. For me, auctions, again, I'm trying to do this without taking very much of my time. And auctions are going to just suck your time dry. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you ever bought a domain on auction, but
No, I don't, but I think like you, I think it's too much time.
yeah, man. Then you're second guessing yourself, saying like, oh, maybe maybe it's worth $5 more. Maybe I'll bid, and then you're constantly logging in and checking it. It's just not good, not good. So I just say, if I can't get this domain for $69, then forget it. I'll just skip it. I'll just get more tomorrow. But you could, if you want, like say some guys, they'll say like they'll put 100 in there, and they'll say I'm willing to pay up to $100, and that way, if someone else tries to get in an auction with them, Snap Names will bid for you up to 100. So it's really a business decision how much you're willing to pay for a good domain. My cutoff is 69, but some guys say, oh, I'll pay 100, I'll pay 150, and then if there's no auction, then you only pay 69. But if there's an auction, then Snap Names will bid for you. So it's really however you want to do it. Does that make sense so far?
Yeah.
Okay. So then you just click submit, and once you click submit, then Snap Names goes to work for you. And then over here, if you click on your buyer dashboards button on the left, and then you click on pending orders, it'll show your list of domains, and it'll give you a status like we're currently acquiring this domain, or there's an auction on it, or whatever. You can tell the status of everything. If they don't get the domain, then this little back order button will appear, which basically means they're going to try to get it next year. They're going to try 12 months from now again. But I usually just delete. If it says back order, I'll just delete it out of my account because I don't want to forget and accidentally order this next year. It's probably not going to have much value next year, I figure, if I missed it. So I'll just delete it out if it says back order. And if they get it, then they'll send you an email with your username and password for the domain, for the registrar, and it goes back to whatever registrar it was on before. So like if the registrar was GoDaddy, then you'll get a GoDaddy username and password.
Okay.
And that way you can log in and manage the domain from there. Okay, and we have outsourcers do all this. So once we get the username and password, we actually give that over to one of my girls in the Philippines, and she will do all the registrant information, everything herself. She sets up the hosting and everything. So that way the whole network really is being built without me having to do anything. And so what we have her do is we have her go to archive.org, and we have her pick which archived version of the site looks the best and saves that URL. So like it'll give you a URL that looks something like this that you see at the top, and that will that'll be the URL that she saves for later, because we're going to need to remember which version of the which archived version looked the best, and that's the one that we want to recreate. Now, I would not recommend that you try to download the archive yourself, because when archive.org, when they archive a site, they change the directory structure. So they put everything in different folders. They move all the images into this different folder with a different name, and they basically recreate the site according to their own architecture.
Yeah.
So if you download that version from archive.org and recreate it, it's going to look totally different than the site that it used to be online, and a lot of times you'll end up missing backlinks and stuff like that. So we use this service called Wayback Downloader, and it's automated. They have a little script, and you basically give them the archive.org URL. So you can see right here, they tell you give us this, and they will download and recreate the site as it was. So they'll undo all the changes that archive.org made and put it back to how it was.
Great.
Which saves so much time. I mean, doing this yourself.
Yeah.
Oh man. I mean, I know some guys, they try to create their own little script to do it, but there's so many little exceptions and little quirks, and it just ends up being a huge mess. So it's really, this is worth the money. I mean, you can see here, if you do 5 at a time, it's only $7 per site. And
really cheap, really.
Yeah, and they deliver you the site in a zip file. So you get a zip file via email with the whole site in it. All you do is unzip it, upload it to your hosting, and your site is done. And that's the way to build a network fast, because you're basically just uploading these sites all day and creating them as fast as you can get the domains, without having to design anything, or you don't have to write any content or anything. You're just creating the sites as they were. So, alrighty. So that's that. I'm gonna also email you some instructions. If Wayback Downloader ever goes away, you can find freelancers that know how to do this, which that's how we used to do. We used to just go to freelancer.com and just hire someone off of there to recreate the site. It's not necessary right now, but I'm going to give you some instructions for Freelancer if you want to create projects on there. It's just as a backup. Okay. So, also, really, really important is we fake the whois information.
Yeah.
Because you don't want Google to know that you own all these sites. So we just put fake information, and I tell my outsourcers use fake name generator, just because they can come up with some really weird sounding names, and they don't sound. So I just have them match whatever country the domain name is from. I'll have them match that name, and that way we have names that sound like someone from that country, instead of, it being like every single name sounds like a Filipino name or an Indian name or something. And we fake everything. So even the email, we have them either create a fake email, like a fake Hotmail, and we'll forward all of those to the same place. And that way we get all of the any kind of domain emails that we need, or any kind of information from the registrar, we get them all forwarded to the same place. But, publicly, it looks like it's, 100, 200 different people who all own these domains. Okay. And this is all in the instruction sheets too. We have the outsourcer do all this as well. And it works great, and it's cheaper than putting privacy on there. Plus, I don't know, Google might even be able to see through the privacy shield. I'm not sure if they can, but kind of a debate out there about that.
About the privacy voice?
Yeah, like if you have, you can register a domain, and you want to look natural, so you want it to basically look like we've got, all these different people, real people. They're not
Yeah.
trying to hide anything. They look real, and
Yeah.
and you know, they they've that way it all looks natural to Google.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so the other um, the other thing that we use is we use Host9 for our hosting, and I think Jacob King actually recommends Host9 as well. The reason why we like Host9 is because you can basically you can get a large number of different IP addresses for your sites without having to pay extra. So usually when you get hosting, you have to pay like $2 or $1 per month extra
Yeah.
for a unique IP address. And so we use Host9 because the way you can actually do it for free. Have you
Sorry,
ever?
don't hear you.
Oh, is my audio cut out? Um, Hold on. That?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what happened there.
No problem.
So, but basically, what I was talking about was Host9.
Yeah.
We like Host9 because you can get a lot of different IP addresses for your network, and they're free if you set it up right. There's a certain way when you set up a new hosting account to set up the server a certain way, and you get a free, fresh IP address. And that's really important because that's one of the clear ways to identify a network, a site network, is if they're all from similar IP addresses.
Yeah.
So with Host9, you can avoid that and give your sites a lot of different IP addresses. So we use just a reseller, Host9 reseller. If you click on resellers, I would start with level 2 because that lets you go up to 100 sites on level 2, all just for the, $25 a month. So it's a pretty cheap way to do it. I'll send you some videos on Host9 and how to set it up so that you can make sure that you get unique IP addresses.
Okay.
And you can give those to your outsourcers or your employees as well to follow. And we've used Host9 for many years. I mean, our network has been on Host9 for many, many years, and it's a great option. And the nice thing is, too, you're pretty much lost. There's so many other sites on their servers that you're completely hidden from Google.
Yeah.
Just lost in the crowd, so to speak.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cheap. It's pretty cheap. So then your basic cost is just getting the domain, and then the hosting, and then it's pretty cheap to continually maintain. Other than your registration fees for your domain name, it's just the hosting, and you can just bump it up. Once you max out your 100 sites, you just go up to level 3, and it's a great option. So. Okay. So any questions about that so far?
No.
Okay. So another service that we've used, which you could try out, is it's called Cosmic Domains, and I'll send you a link to this. It's basically a service where he goes out and has some sort of a script that you basically give him a keyword, and he goes out with his script and he finds, a few hundred domains. It's between 300 and 1,000 domains that match your keyword.
Yeah.
And then you can go and check. So basically, this is sort of an alternative to using expireddomains.net. These domains that he gets you are already expired, so they're just sitting out there. And the advantage is it's a little cheaper because all you pay is the $8 or $15 or whatever to register them.
Yeah.
The disadvantage is there's a lot of crap in there that you're going to have to sort through. So we've used this service as well and just had our outsourcers go through the exact same process for the list of domains that he gives you, to see which ones are good and which ones are not good. Let me show you real quick. I'll just log into my account here and I'll show you what this looks like on the inside, because this might be something you want to experiment with. Hold on a second. Let me just log in. Okay, so you can see here I've got two. I just logged in and I've got two different searches that he's done for me in this account. And you click View All Domains, and then it has a big matrix for you that you can sort. So you can sort by PageRank. You can sort by domain authority. Which, are you familiar with domain authority metric, the Moz
Yeah.
metric? Okay, so you can sort by that, or you can sort by trust flow, which is the Majestic SEO metrics. I would encourage you either sort by trust flow or by domain authority, and then you can look at how many backlinks does it have, how old is it, and you can have your outsourcers look at the archive too and see is there an archive available. So we've gotten some good domains off of this Cosmic Domain service also, so you might want to try them out. It's a little less work because his script does the work for you, but you can't really control how many. You might pay $100 and only get one good domain out of his whole list, or you might pay $100 and get 5 or 10 good domains out of it. It's kind of random because it's just an automated script that does the work. So, but I would give it a shot. See what you find.
Yeah.
And it enables you to sort of build a network that's more themed also. Like, say, if you're selling, payday loans or something like that, then you could buy all financial related domains and have your whole network be like the same theme, which is an advantage. So, all right. Trying to think. I think I covered everything. Yeah, that's pretty much the whole strategy. Again, we're going to send you the whole system, all the sheets that we give, all the instructions that we give to our outsourcers, so you could just pretty much set up. Right. Yeah, it's not gonna do you much good because it won't have any authority, it won't have any backlinks. Yeah. But for your money site, I think it's fine to start with a new domain. It's actually kind of hard to find an aged domain to use for a money site just because you just get so many different names. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like to get one that actually fits what your money site is about is actually pretty hard to do.
Yeah.
So you could try, but you'd have to spend a lot of time just trying to find one. And if you do that, do a lot of research. Make sure that domain doesn't have any unknown problems, because you could end up with a money site that was like Google banned before, or something like that. It's another risk. So I would probably start fresh. Or you could buy one from like a domain forum, like let's see, like DN Forum is a place where there's a lot of guys selling domains that um, have a lot of quality to them, you know.
Yeah.
So you could go on here and look for a money site to buy. It's going to be a little more expensive, but then you'll be more likely to get one that has a brand feel and is, you know, isn't Google banned before. Like you're actually buying it from a person. So that might be a possibility for you.
Yes.
I think you can also go on. Let me see here. Digital Point also has. Let me see if I can find it here. I don't know if you've ever been on Digital Point, but
Yes, yeah. I think.
Yeah. So here.
Yeah.
Yep, they've got a whole forum here for domain names. So people buying and selling domains, you could go on here and try to buy one there, and then probably the most expensive place you could buy one, but you might find a really quality one, would be on Flippa. You're probably familiar with Flippa.
Yeah.
Flippa's you're gonna pay a premium though. You're gonna pay a lot more on there. But you know, sometimes you can buy one that already has traffic or already has, you know, a little bit of cash flow even. You know, but that'll be more expensive. So. Yeah, so that's basically it. The one other thing that we do. This is sort of a high end strategy, but once I buy a domain, I'll go into Majestic, historical index, and I will shoot. You know what? Hold on, let me just see if it's going to make me log in. You know, I can't remember my login. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
But anyway,
No.
I will go. I have too many. But I'll go in there and I'll actually look at all the pages that Majestic has recorded. That any page that has a backlink, and I'll make sure that I've recreated that page. So sometimes you'll have like pages that didn't, whatever reason, they weren't in the Wayback Machine, they weren't in the archive, but you might find, oh wow, there's a page out there that has 50 backlinks, and you want to make sure all those pages that you recreate all those pages, even if they aren't in the archive, you want to make sure that they're out there because that's free links for you. You know, they're already pointing there. So yeah, and I wouldn't recommend putting WordPress on these sites. I think, now this is my opinion, this is how we build our network, but WordPress, the advantage of WordPress is you can systematize it and it's really easy to put up and it's easy to make it look nice. The disadvantage is it makes your site look like a network because they all look the same.
Yeah.
They're all, and Google's gonna ask some questions if they see like every site linking to your money site is a WordPress blog. You know, it doesn't look natural. So that's why we like the archive.org method, because it makes all your sites look completely different. There's really no way that anyone could tell that these sites are part of a network. And WordPress actually can give away your IP address to Google and things like that. So we try to stay away from WordPress networks and just build them based on the old site. So
yes.
So yeah. So I can email you. I'll email you this recording, and I'll email you all the instructions, and we can also help you via email. So normally we don't freely like help people with their networks, but because you bought this training, we will help you build it. So if you have any questions or if you have any problems when you're building it, you can email us. And even if you're trying to decide, like, is this a good domain, or is this one I should buy, or is this not a good one? You could even just email us the domain and say, hey, what do you think of this one? And we can tell you, yeah, get it, or no, don't get it for such and such a reason. So any problems you have, just feel free to shoot us an email.
New questions.
Yep, exactly.
And,
yep.
Yeah.
My brother also might answer it, because he's really actively involved in building the network also. My brother Seth.
Okay.
So it'll either be me or Seth answering your questions. But he's pretty much just, he's just as involved as me in building the network. So
it's normal, the people normally think that behind a name it's only one man, and no.
Yep.
No.
Yep. Yeah.
It's
So
too hard doing one thing, one person all the work. It's too hard.
It is.